And then the longevity of it, I say, you got the oldest players in the NFL right now. There's maybe like 4 or 5 of them that are over 40 years old. I think the top 3 or 4 are definitely kickers, punters, and not any snappers. But snappers can play for a while too. But you got Adam Vinatieri. You've got the punter for the Houston Texans, Leckler. You've got Phil Dawson. You got Matt Bryant. All those guys are 40-something years old. Adam Vinatieri, I think I didn't say that name yet, but they're playing 20-year careers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
who does
right.
that? I mean,
You're right.
Down Green did it, but nobody else can do that. And so it's just a way to play a game that people love and have fun, but at the same time, don't have to risk as much concussions and, head banging and injuries. You know what I mean? So that's one of the benefits that I tell the parents. And for the kids, it's harder to get the kids to do it. It's tough because they don't really see that many. You don't see on a commercial, you don't see a kicker or punter on a
right.
On a commercial. So like why do I want to be that guy? I don't see him on a commercial. But we were talking. We were saying with soccer players, I think Atlanta United, they had 3 goalies on the roster. 2 of the goalies, I think, make $65,000. They just so happen to have the best goalie, I think, in the United States right now. So he might make a little bit more money, but most guys are only making a 5-figure salary. I have a kid that I train. He made it to the Saints. Will Lutz from Georgia State. Will played last year, made at least $425,000 rookie minimum.
Yeah, big difference.
You know what I mean? So this year he's making about $500,000. I think maybe over $500,000. You know what I mean? So
no,
I'm like, so that's definitely an incentive.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, you mentioned that you have these guys that you train. So tell us about the kicking academy.
Well, I've been at it for a while now. We're starting to pick up a little bit of steam. It is for mainly my clients are middle school to professional. Majority of them are high school kids. I train guys all over the state of Georgia, a few guys outside of Georgia. And we pretty much focus on the fundamentals of kicking, punting, and snapping. Just trying to get them exposed to knowing how to do it. And then after that, we focus on the recruiting side as well, just trying to help get them placed in different colleges and universities. I'm always in contact with different schools, asking them what their needs are for the upcoming classes. Just trying to see, if they are looking, or if I have anybody that I train that I can try to help place. I get a lot of phone calls from parents that just say, my son doesn't have a coach. He's at practice all day on the field by himself, just kicking and punting, and then they call him over to kick, and nobody knows what they're talking about. So can you please work with him, or can he come to a camp? So it's been a good experience for me, especially now some of the kids that I've trained are older, and they've done well. If they didn't go, Will Lutz was the first guy that I actually had that went pro that I actually knew from like 9th grade. But a few other guys, they're doing well. They didn't go pro, but they had good college careers, and then now they're in their fields working and doing well. So that's a good incentive. And a lot of those guys went to college on scholarships, no student loans. So I would say that it's a blessing because you actually, parents can find something to invest in their kids. They're going to spend the money on something. Why not do it with something that could, change their life in a roundabout way, And so that's some of my motivation to do the camps. So we just try to provide the best we can to our ability that each person can teach themselves. You know what I mean? So because out of any position in football, the number one position that does not have a coach is kickers, punters, and snappers. So those guys have to know how to coach themselves to be successful, and that's the thing. Even we even work with coaches sometimes, just trying to educate them on how do you handle your players. Like, a lot of them just don't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? So they just say, hey, what I do? What should I be doing with him? What should he be doing during practice? So we do a lot of consulting as well as training. we'll do camps during the summer and throughout the year, and we'll do 2 competitions during the year where we actually have rankings. So we just started doing rankings this past year for really mainly for the kids to get them incentive to work hard and also to help get them recruited by colleges.
Now, you mentioned something. You said that it gets you a scholarship, gets you a degree, and you have no student loan debt. All right. Now, with that being said, and this is the HBCU Report, Rob Calloway on the line right now with Cedric Oglesby, a South Carolina State University alum, former NFL kicker, now the head of the Cedric Oglesby Kicking Academy. There's been a lot of brouhaha, a lot of noise being made about, the need to pay collegiate athletes, okay? Now, my thing always is, and I get into arguments with people all the time, men and women, my argument with them is that there's a trade-off. When you sign a contract, when you sign that scholarship, you enter a partnership with the NCAA and the institution that you're going to. Correct. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Right. You enter a partnership, and the partnership says that we will pay for you to get an education that more than likely your folks cannot pay out of their pockets for you to go to this university. We're going to pay for this in exchange for you playing football. So is that not players being paid?
It is. I mean, because that's tuition that you did not pay. So in other words, they spent money on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you hear, because I know you hear people talk about this. I mean, you're a former, professional player. You've heard this, and collegiate player. What are your overall thoughts about this? I mean, is this something that should be looked further into, or do you feel like I do, like the scholarship and the degree? I mean, that is the payment.
Right. I mean, it all depends on. Only thing that I would say that I would probably be more complaining about is if the facilities are not up to par and you're not taking care of the kids like you should. If all you're doing is just providing books, a dorm, and going to class, I mean, that's good. But a lot of those kids, they're dependent on that program to support them. So, I mean, hey, I went to HBCU, and keep it real, I just have, HBCUs, we have some different stories to tell sometimes.
Absolutely.
Compared to my other friends I talk to. So, I know I can go down the list on a couple things I had to go through, but so in that case, you know what I mean, it was great that we had a scholarship, but at the same time, financially for some of the guys, it was a struggle, you know what I mean? So in that case, I don't know what you expect the guy to do. I mean, I just know I don't think you should restrict the player in certain cases. If he's doing something and he's working hard at it, now what they try to say is, the player's using the school's name to make the money. Well, I mean, if you're using the school's name to make the money, or you're taking advantage of the opportunity to be an athlete of that school to make the money, I mean, that's where the fine line is drawn at. I don't know if I'm sure you heard the story with Donald Delahaye down at the University of Central Florida,
right, kicker.
I know him. I spoke with him on the phone about it before he actually decided not to return. I just wanted to see what he was thinking. What are you doing? And he just explained to me what his thought process was and what they were telling him. I mean, he made the decision to give it up, which a lot of people would not do, and I guess think he's crazy. But I mean, he crossed the line on a couple things that he might have done, but in most of his work, he was just doing what everybody does, just posting things on media, and then people. I mean, everybody has social media and wants somebody to follow them or post a picture. So it's like common things that everybody does they couldn't do. You know what I mean? And then they wanted him to not get paid at all and give all the money back that he had made. And that's tough. You know what I mean? Just for somebody who if you have needs at home and you just have that ability to get some money or make some money, that's kind of tough in that situation. I couldn't imagine what a player would do knowing that his family is struggling and that he's playing at this. He's playing in a game. There's 80,000 people, 103,000 people in the stands, and everybody paid at least $100 or more to get in the stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mom's lights are turned off. I don't know. That's a tough position to be in as a player, knowing that you could easily make some money. You know what I mean? So I just don't know in that case. And if they're using your likeness, you know what I mean? They are profiting. I guess it's a thin line. I guess it should be a scale or something they should come up with or something.
But again,
if a man's doing,
how do you do the scale? See, that's the conundrum right there. Like, if I'm the top quarterback in the nation, guess what I'm going to expect? I'm going to expect to be getting more money than anybody else playing college football. And it's right. That's unreasonable at that level.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that problem will ever be solved. I mean, I don't think it will be ongoing forever. So it's just one of those things. You know what you get into when you sign up for it. So.
Well, dude, let me just say this. What you were talking about going to an HBCU, dude, that's what we call the experience. That's part of the HBCU experience, the struggle.
So you can survive. You survive, boy. You can do anything.
Hey, boy, I'm telling you, make it out of HBCU, boy. Hey, you can really make it. You can make it. But give everybody, before I let you go, give everybody your website information for those that are interested in the Kicking Academy.
Okay, the webpage is kickdoctor.com, KICKDOCTOR.com. You can reach us on Twitter and Instagram as well. It's Steve Oglesby Kicking, COGLESBY Kicking, and on Facebook at Cedric Oglesby Kicking Academy. I can throw this at you too before you get off real quick, but one of the guys I trained who happened to be at South Carolina State University, he's currently I know it's only like week 3, but he's in first place right now in NCAA FCS for most field goals made.
What's his name?
Tyler Scandrett.
See, a product of the Cedric Oglesby Kicking Academy. See, there you go. I like how you just went on to plug that on in there. See, hey, he's getting these dudes ready for the next level, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have kids and you want them to be safe, this is a CTE free job right here, and you can get big money. CTE free, I'm telling you. Check him out, Cedric Oglesby Kicking Academy. Ced, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
The HBCU experience lives here. The HBCU Report with Rob Calloway. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jason Derulo. I love that music connects to people all over the country. But unfortunately, so does something else. Childhood hunger. Join me in the fight against hunger in America. For more information on what you can do to get involved, visit feedingamerica.org. That's feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're talking Morehouse football on the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report being heard via the Two Live Stews Radio Network. Rob Calloway on the line right now with Rich Freeman. He is the head football coach of the SIAC's Morehouse Maroon Tigers. They are in action later on today versus the Miles College Golden Bears. First of all, Coach Freeman, welcome back to the show.
Happy to be back.
All right, man. So let's talk about the 2017 edition of the Morehouse Maroon Tigers. You guys currently 2-1 on the season. The only loss coming at the hands of an FCS SWAC opponent and Arkansas Pine Bluff, a 23-10 loss at Pine Bluff. Since then, you guys have gone on a 2-game win streak, including wins versus Lane and a narrow one last week, 35-33 versus Central State. Take us through last week's victory, Coach.
Last week, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit there early in the game, dug a hole for ourselves, and I guess all things are relative. We needed to be able to win a game like that. When you make as many mistakes as we made, had a punt block for a touchdown, threw an interception for a touchdown, and got down to the 5-yard line, and instead of scoring, we threw an interception.